Hi, Stuart. This is Jan.
Yes, Sean.
Do you have any um, guidance or suggestions on the best way to interact with say, like a sunset or a sacred place or the forest in terms of taking in the Shakti?
The best way to do that is just approach all of those things you mentioned with a little bit of consciousness. It will enable you to embrace it, sit in front of it, open to it. I mean, the problem isn't nature. You understand, nature goes through its cycles, and the problem is the craziness and the tension inside people that keep them, that divorces them from the absolute beauty that is nature. And that's really the problem. It's not nature. Nature goes through its cycles and its sunsets and sunrises and beautiful painted skies and, hurricanes and, floods and goes through all of that stuff. The problem is that people are so full of themselves. And even when they look at nature, they're trying to, how can I extract oil from nature? You know, how can I cut down trees to, I mean, it's always self-involved in which they perceive nature. What ends are in nature that I can benefit from? Instead of recognizing that nature is a master teacher, master spiritual teacher. And if you clean up your own act inside, you can learn from nature. If you don't clean up your own act inside, forget about it. Nature is, it's kind of like these classes, if you clean up your act inside, you can get an enormous amount. They just go on all the time. Nature goes on all the time. It does its thing all the time. It's like these classes. If people begin to get themselves, have kind of a clear channel inside themselves and an openness inside. I mean, you can find God in anything. Problem is not the external world, and the problem isn't nothing but each and every one of us who have all of this madness inside, this chaos inside, that keeps us from ever perceiving what life has to teach us. Now, we practice meditation in order to clean up our act, to get ourselves to where we truly can embrace nature. We can allow nature to be this amazing teacher. We can allow not only nature, but we can allow life in cities to be our amazing teacher. We can allow anything, because whatever we see around us is all a manifestation of God. And it's all there to teach us about what we need to learn to grow. I mean, you can't pick and choose your teachers. You understand? You have to open to what the universe sends
Mm.
and allow it to truly nurture you. But it doesn't matter. You can be sitting in front of the Buddha, Christ, Mohammed, you know, and not even recognize that they have something to give you. I mean, I used to sit in Rudy's store and I would look at him, and all I saw was light coming out of him and this remarkable being who was teaching me how to get to God. And people would walk in the store, "Can I help you?" He would ask them. And they almost always answered with "just looking." And I thought it was such an appropriate analogy to life. Everybody's just looking and nobody sees. They don't see until they're ready to see. And nature's the same way. When we're ready to see nature, it has amazing things to teach us. But the same thing, when we're ready to see the busyness of life and people and energy, it's all God teaching us in so many different ways. And when you start picking and choosing according to what you like or dislike, you're missing the entire world. If you open and receive it, and what is it teaching me? My God, everything has something to teach you about what, we all need to do to grow spiritually. I hope it's clear, we always like to blame something outside ourselves for everything that's wrong with us. And it's never the truth. We have to take full responsibility for whatever we are as human beings and do something profound inside to change it. Then we stop blaming the world. We develop the capacity to let life become this amazing teacher. Life is the teacher, not Stuart. My job is just to help everyone that comes here to build a system inside that can enable them to sit in front of life. The ultimate guru is not Swami this one and Yogi that one and Father this one. It's life. And a teacher, the responsibility of a teacher is to train people to get to a place where they can truly sit in front of life. They can bow down to life, open to the sacred nature of life, and let it teach them. Be it nature, be it, the gridlock of New York City, be it all the tension of business and all these wars and, things that go on in the world. It's all a manifestation of higher energy that is teaching us about ourselves. And then the world becomes kind of a wonderful place to live in. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask?
Stuart.
Why do we say I never know what's going to happen in 5 minutes? I used to say 10 minutes, but now I'm down to 5 minutes. It's true. I used to say I never know what's going to happen in 10. Now it's 5 minutes. I never know. The phone rings and boom, suddenly everything changes. New energy, new needs, new things. It's kind of amazing life. And we just need to get strong enough inside to be able to deal with it and learn from it, to grow instead of complaining about it and feeling, a victim of it, to grow to where, hey, this is God manifesting in front of me. I don't have to be a victim. I can learn how to grow because of what life is teaching me. And the ultimate growth is love, gratitude, joy, happiness, unconditional giving and receiving, being able to function on the highest level of what it means to be human. And just being able to transcend fear, guilt, insecurity, chabda, all that other stuff, into a chakra system that's strong enough to keep the heart open. And when life no longer intimidates, teaches you. I mean, that's what growing up is all about, not getting older. Most people, they're 40 years old and emotionally they're 6, It's really true. I mean, life is about what I'm talking about, getting bigger and so becoming an adult inside, growing up instead of cowering when, things are difficult and little pressure is put on one and we run for the hills, you know? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff until I met Rudy, really. And he busted my ass for 6 years teaching me all these things. And then it took me 20, 30 years to really learn what he taught me. And I really mean that. 6 years of intense training that took 20 years for me to learn what he was teaching me, to get big enough to absorb what he taught me. And even today, I'm still learning, you know, what he taught me. And I'm very grateful for that. I don't want to arrive. You know, I really like the adventure of not arriving, but growing every day, getting a little bit closer and just bowing down to what really is perfection, and that's God. The rest of us understand we're like in bumper cars at a carnival, you know. We have to learn. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then thank you. God bless you all. And as I say now a lot after class, take it with you. Don't leave it in Zoom. Don't leave it in the computer. Don't think, all right, finish with this next. I'm going to go out and have a few drinks at a bar or whatever is next. Take it with you. You know, take this incredible energy, let it become part of your inner life. Don't think about it, just absorb it inside and let it become part of your inner life. It will serve you, it will help you live a more conscious life. If you think about it, you'll just bring it down to your own level of understanding, and that is probably 5% of the possibility of what it's to understand in the world. So just absorb it inside, take it with you, let it work for you. Take it into the third chakra, open the heart, quiet the mind, become a child of God living in the world. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, we'll have meditation tomorrow evening, same time. And thank you. God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Love you, Stuart.
Thank you,
Thank
Stuart.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Welcome. I love you all. The only thing that's missing in these classes, you know what it is? I can't hug everybody after. I really mean that, you know? That was such a wonderful thing. There's a line of people and I would hug everybody, you know, and it was just a human thing that was terrific, you know. So I want to have a place where I can do that again, you know, I can just hug people. Fantastic. Okay. See you all on Zoom tomorrow night.
Thank
We'll figure out a way to hug each other on Zoom.
you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank-